Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on July the 16th, 2019. Europe prepares for tariffs on $7 billion products. According to two European government officials, Europe expects the World Trade Organization to allow the US to hit the EU with tariffs aimed at products valued at between $5 billion and $7 billion in a 14-year dispute over illegal aircraft subsidies. President Donald Trump's administration is waiting for the WTO to give its final decision on the damages caused by prohibited European aid for Airbus SE, after which the US would move immediately to impose the tariffs. The WTO could issue its ruling as soon as this summer. The Office of the US Trade Representative previously estimated that EU subsidies to Airbus cost approximately $11 billion in economic harm to the US annually. The EU has a similar case pending against Boeing Co. and has already published a preliminary list of US goods, from ketchup to video game consoles, being targeted in a $12 billion plan for retaliatory levies. Shares mixed on reports from main central banks. European and US futures, along with Asian indexes, were mixed on Tuesday as investors looked to earnings and policymakers for the rally's next catalysts. The Stoxx Europe 600 index fluctuated in a tight range, with chemicals companies climbing while real estate shares fell. Futures on the S&P 500 index climbed less than 0.05% after ended Monday at the record. Japanese shares dipped as traders returned from a holiday, while South Korean stocks climbed. Investors will be watching US retail sales data later on Tuesday for clues on the health of the American economy, a day after Chinese figures showed signs of stabilization. On the commodities market, West Texas Intermediate crude hit the lowest in a week at $59.43 a barrel, dipped 0.3%. Gold climbed less than 0.05% to $1,414.35 an ounce. Facebook launches scam ads reporting tool. Fresh efforts to tackle scam adverts across Facebook are being introduced in the UK. The social media company is releasing a scam ads reporting tool with a specially trained team investigating alerts raised by users, reviewing reports and taking down validating posts to clamp down on potentially misleading adverts. Earlier, this question was raised by consumer champion Martin Lewis. He dropped a lawsuit against Facebook in January after the social network agreed to create a reporting tool to donate £3 million to Citizens Advice for an anti-scam project. The dedicated online scam service from Citizens Advice, called Scams Action, will give one-to-one support to those who are worried they have been scammed. Euro falls, dollar rises despite expected rate cut. The euro declined on Tuesday as investors waited for a sentiment reading of Germany's economy. However, the prospect of more central bank easing starting with the Federal Reserve later this month limited losses of single currency. The euro stood at $1.1251 in early London trading, down slightly on the day. Meantime, markets expect the Federal Reserve to cut rates later in July, but the dollar has held its own. The dollar index was up 0.1% at 97.035, a fair way from its June lows of 95.843. The yen dropped 0.1% to 108.05 yen per dollar. The US currency rose to a 6-week high of 108.990 yen last week, but slid after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell set the stage for a rate cut later this month. On the other hand, sterling fell below $1.25 as Brexit and economic concerns weigh ahead of British labour market date for the month of June.